If you know that you need to practice your diaphragmatic breathing, or you've been told that you should practice your diaphragmatic breathing, and you're struggling to really engage with that or understand what has to move or get the right things to move, then this is a fairly foolproof way of practicing diaphragmatic breathing. Before I show you, let me explain a little bit about what we're going to be doing. So we're thinking about moving the diaphragm, which is this large muscle at the lower level of the ribs and then extends up underneath the rib cage. And in order to access that muscle primarily, we'll be fixing the ribs and fixing the spine. So we're fixing the ribs by taking the arms up. Have the elbows as high up as you can. It does need some shoulder mobility. And then we'll fix the ribs in this slightly raised position. The ribs aren't really going to move anywhere. We're also going to be lying down, so you'll be doing that arm movement as you're lying down on your front. Let me show you what that looks like and have a go with it. Arms coming up, elbows quite close in together, forehead can come down. I will be lifting my head just to say a few things about it, but you have your forehead resting down on the floor, legs relaxed. And then stay with your breathing. This isn't an immediate tuning into what's happening, so it will take a little bit of time. Let yourself observe what's happening in the space of the lower ribs and below that, and the abdomen, and observe those subtle movements with these internal muscles. It's not something we do a lot of, so it can take a little bit of time until you start tuning into what's happening in that space. You might feel some slight sideways movement and some up and down movement, and we're thinking about that space just at the base of the rib cage. And when we've fixed our spine by lying down and fixed our rib cage by having that arms up into that upward position, then we start to observe what's happening around the diaphragm. So it's a really good way to just tune into what muscles have to work. Stay there and practice it for maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Don't be uncomfortable with the shoulders, adjust the arms if you need to, and with a bit of practice you'll find that you tune into accessing that diaphragm muscle more easily. And then lie on your back and practice diaphragmatic breathing. I've got a separate video on that. Just noticing the rise and fall of the abdomen when you're lying on your back. That's a bit more comfortable, but if you're struggling with diaphragmatic breathing, try this method first, where you're lying on your front and restricting the spine and rib cage to access the diaphragm. So I'm Barbara Dancer, I'm part of Yoga Therapy Whole Person Healing, and we use yoga to find ways to support your health.